while we jump to a show, we talked about Glow, definitely going to be nominated this year, season 1 for the Emmys. A show that we expect to be nominated for, short mini series next year is Sharp Objects, featuring Amy Adams on HBO. Jean-Marc Vallée, director of Dallas Buyers Club, which I believe won the Academy Award for Best Picture, right? At least with
no, but Matthew McConaughey won Best Actor.
That's what it was.
And so did Jared Leto.
Right. Oh man, Jared Leto before he was the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
So Sharp Objects premiered last night, gotten a lot of buzz. It's going to be 8 episodes, and it has Amy Adams in it. It also has Patricia Clarkson, Chris Messina, who you would know from The Newsroom, and Eliza Scanlon, who plays the younger sister
right
on the show. This was probably one of the first pilots in a long, or I don't even know if it's pilot, but first episodes in a long time that really draws you in and just kind of makes you hooked to a show. I mean, like, I really want to see the second episode to uncover more of what's going on. And I think that, at least for me, they did a really good job because they're setting up a lot of backstory in the first episode about something happened to Amy Adams as she returns to her hometown to write about these murders that have been happening to young girls over the last 2 years. And that she experienced a lot of trauma in her past and how that affects her relationships. And I think they do a really good job of mixing in the current mystery with the past mystery in a way that's really effective. And it's obviously going to kind of force Amy Adams to reflect on her own issues and how that plays out. What did you like about the first episode? Because I saw you tweeting about it last night.
Yeah, I mean, like those quick, like instantaneous flashbacks, like you said, I think are really, really effective. They're actually quite engaging, but it's kind of like peeling back the layers of what is going on with Amy Adams' character. And like you said, I don't think it's a pilot. It probably wasn't a pilot because it was probably a straight to series miniseries, because this is adapted off of a Gillian Flynn novel, and she wrote Gone Girl, of course. So if you want to know what happens, I'm sure we could find out, but I'm not going to spoil it for myself. But I'm very excited because, like, I don't know, it's kind of like hooks. This first episode kind of hooked me the way The Night Of hooked me. Another HBO show that I really loved. And Jean-Marc Vallée, who did Big Little Lies after Dallas Buyers Club, and he, I think this is a big step up with his camera. Like, it really moved around, like pivoted some of the scenes, like in the houses, but also just with the flashbacks, with the close-ups on Amy Adams, because she's like a troubled character that has her issues. She's an alcoholic. She's a cutter. I think it's really effective. It's intentionally shot like a hazy way because that's how her character usually is feeling. And Patricia Clarkson immediately is like the most grating, like Southern belle matriarch ever. It's like so fucking effective. And this is a cool show because Amy Adams is an executive producer on the way same way Reese Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman were EPs for Big Little Lies. And this is a lot like, and this is kind of like the prestige of peak TV now, where like big A-listers can come do a short commitment. And yes, Big Little Lies got season 2, but that's why they wanted to make it. But like the appeal of this is that Amy Adams did not have to commit to 20 episode season This Is Us,
Right.
And we have shows with Julia Roberts coming down the pipe. George Clooney has a show at Hulu. Like these kind of high profile double A-listers going to TV. It's just really exciting, especially when it's a acclaimed novel from a guy who's already knocked it out of the park with HBO once already, and with Amy Adams. So I'm just really stoked about it. But I think it's just the pilot is like really uniquely made to like grab you, and it's not just a small town murder mystery or a crime thriller. Like, I feel like that's kind of like a superficial way to talk about the show, given what we saw in the first episode. So I'm all the way in.
Yeah, me too. And it came out this week that HBO wanted, what was it, a new direction, or they're going new direction.
It was just because, so like with the AT&T Warner acquisition approved, HBO has new overseers, and the way, I forgot the names of the guys, but the head of HBO was talking to the head of the new Warner Media people, and it's like, we're profitable. And he's like, yes, you are, but you need to be more profitable. And basically it sounds like they just want to compete with Netflix by having more stuff to attract more subscribers and it sounds like they want to get away from the HBO owned one night of your week. Now, no. Now we got to own multiple nights because Netflix owns every waking moment now, you know?
Right.
And the struggle, of course, is HBO has always been about quality. Netflix does not give a fuck about quality. So I think it's very interesting to see play out where, you know, how would HBO can operate? Because I think, you know, making more sharp objects, I don't know if that's in their budget because they're expensive to pay people like Amy Adams to be on the show. So I don't know how drastic this will be, but in the meantime, Sharp Objects is a classic HBO joint, so I'm excited.
Definitely. Well, and I think it's a smart strategy. It seems like they've gotten some really good properties, IP to work off of, but they've also pretty much told like Reese Witherspoon, Laura Dern, people like that if you want to have input on this, like we would love that, and like you can have direction, and it gets buy-in from these people. They don't want to be coming in, they're already established, they don't need to be doing TV, but if they want to be doing a project like this, having input is really smart. And I think that's probably how you move towards, a bigger, being more profitable, as you get the names and then you let them make quality content while also having a show like Succession, which we'll talk about, where I mean the budget for that is probably pretty high, but at the same time they don't have any like A-listers on that, like a show like this, so not as expensive probably.
Sure.
We'll definitely be talking about Sharp Objects if an episode really feels like it needs to be talked about, or at the end of the season as a wrap up. Any last thoughts before we move on?
I'm very enthusiastic about it as well. Just limited series with an A-lister. People like me and you, TV people, it sells itself.
Definitely.
The fact that it's also really good should bring everyone in.
Absolutely. So definitely watch it if you have HBO.